So, you asked me why? Why speak to young people? For what? Why don't you just stay in the medical field? Do what you do. Continue what you've been doing. It's been good to you. Why I want to speak to the young people, why I do speak to young people, why my calling is for young people. As we all know, fathers, there is 1/4 of the fathers that are not present in the home for young men, young boys. What this does is it creates a void for that young man in so many different avenues and so many different aspects. And just to go into a few really quickly, it doesn't allow and it doesn't have the foundation for that little boy or that young man to be as confident as he normally would as if his dad was in the house. He does not have a layout or a blueprint, so to speak, of what a man should be. He does not have created before him empirically the blueprint of how a man treats a woman as his wife. He does not have an empirical view of how a man treats his children when that 1/4 of a man or a father is gone out of the house for that young boy. Young boys, or as I should say, as a little boy, when my father was in the house, I felt like I could not be conquered. I looked at my dad like my superhero. There's nothing or nobody in my mind that could touch my dad. I thought he was the smartest. I thought he was the most handsome. I thought he was the funniest. I thought he was the strongest. I thought everything of my dad. Now, is that reality? No, not all of it, but what it breeds is confidence. Confidence for that young man. Why do I speak to young men? Simply for the void. Simply for the motivation. Simply for the inspiration. Young girls, I have 2 daughters. They need me. My oldest daughter, she's 11. She's not the most confident young girl in the world. So I have to speak into her life and let her know that daddy is here. And when you need to talk, daddy's here. And when you need instruction, daddy's here. And when you need correction, daddy's here. And when you need insight, daddy is here. Now, my youngest girl, she is very confident. And so what I have to do with her is I have to create more boundaries for her because of her confidence. So daddy needs to be there to create a mold, to create a boundary. So children, males, females, young boys, young girls are affected differently with the absence of their father. Now, can I be everybody's father? Of course not. Can I make a difference in some young man, some little boy's life, some young girl, some young lady? Can I make a difference in her life? Because words are powerful. Presence is even more powerful. And all of our single mothers, hats off. I give you all the glory, all the praise. But unfortunately, you can't be a man. You can't mimic a man. You can't transform into a man. You don't have the bass in your voice like a man. So it's unfortunate that we have many households without fathers. But one of my callings, one of my duties, one of my passions is to step into some of those voids, as many as I can, and try the best I can to make a difference when I engage, when I speak, when I look into a young man or a young lady's eyes and I tell my story. And on top of telling my story, I'll allow them to tell their story. And we have an engagement. Young people are waiting for somebody to come in and tap into what they have going on, because a lot of them feel like nobody cares. Nobody cares. And so when you ask me why, this is why, because I care. I love young people. I love people, all people. But I have a calling for the young people. I have a calling for the young people. So, without further ado, I will end this message, and I look forward to seeing you, to meeting you, to talking with you, to develop a relationship, a foundation. To all my young people. And I'm out.